this week, in response to Louise's request, although Louise is leaving us, I'm doing 3 colors. Either this painting with red, green, and blue, or this painting with yellow, red, and green there.
I guess I think the yellow house is an abandoned because my house used to be that color and look just like that.
We'll do this one. I took these pictures in response to a challenge that I was going to participate in. I didn't participate in it, but it was supposed to be abandoned houses. And those 2 are my favorites. So
that's the gray one. I like the gray one.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay, good.
Oh, you've already got yeah.
That's the other thing I learned from this guy who does who did this challenge, is to do your sketch in watercolor pencil or a pencil that will be water soluble, because it disappears more easily. I have provided myself with a bunch of individual pens. So I'm going to start with my gray, and because I only have 3 colors, and this gray is going to be you don't need a teacher, you just need to paint.
Right. Elin?
Yeah.
What do they still use, is it gesso to cover a board if you want to repaint it?
You can use gesso. You can use acrylic. You can paint over acrylic with other acrylic.
Okay.
In other words, you could take some, some white or whatever kind of background color you want and paint over your old one, unless it's lumpy. Just paint over it so that you get a solid color. And it doesn't have to be white. In fact, this same guy that did this challenge on abandoned houses, he did one lesson on painting the whole underside of your painting with yellow because it makes it cheerful. He was doing a shade scene, a White House in the shade. Do an undercoat like the night before in yellow.
In yellow? Oh.
Well, he was using yellow because it makes it seem sunny. Some of you have been remembering that I'm doing this swan. I did swan on black paper, and I discovered that the problem is that when I did that on pink paper, the pink paper gave it a glow that you can't get with black.
Oh.
And so if I do another swan, I will do it with a pink undercoat.
Oh.
And then paint the white swan on top of it. But that's something you could do with your lotus. We did a lesson on lotuses, didn't we?
I thought
yeah.
Did.
So there should be a video.
Oh, great. Okay.
Of lotuses. But there we go. Now, I've got a problem in that I want to get the little slats and they're light. And I want to get the frame and they're light. But around the frame, it's dark. So I'm going to take I'm going to take a smaller brush, take a tiny brush, and I'm going to do the frame. The other thing that makes very nice dark blacks is purple and green.
Purple and green?
Purple and green. I did a black swan, and there's almost no black on it. The whole body of the swan is purple and green, and only right around the beak and the eye is actually black. And in one sense, when you've got red and green and blue, you've got purple and green. Yes?
Yep.
Yes.
I was telling the others, Jonathan, that over the weekend we went up to see Cezanne drawings at the New York Museum of Modern Art.
Ooh.
The great thing was seeing him work out ideas and seeing that he kept some of the stuff that, you know, we throw away and then went back to it later, like
Oh.
years later. And you see him still working on the same thought. But that was fascinating and very rewarding to feel that, you know, Cezanne screws up too.
Just shows that persistence.
And yeah,
Yeah.
well, and what am I always saying? The whole thing is to practice. And I was even saying that to Diane because she had done a thing that
Yes,
she's
she
not
did.
pleased with. And I'm saying, you know, the big thing is paint. The instructor is there. The instructor is there to say, okay, you're in class, you're supposed to paint that. That's my major role. And to critique.
Mhm.
Well, that's supposed to be sort of white. I don't think it's working. And I may have to cheat and use some white. The guy who called us a 3-color challenge did use white. He doesn't consider that a color.
So he cheated too.
Yeah, so he cheated. Yeah, that's nice. And that's a little bit white. These windows, my windows are not the same size. The windows on the house are, make that higher. There we go. Now it's higher. There. Now I'm doing the whites before I do the red because I figure you see how it's messing up here. The white where I'm taking it off, it's going into the banister to the edges. So then when I put the red on, it will cover that up. I'll get the white established in the gray, and that's all taking off. And I find the nicest thing to take off is a square brush. Why do I have so many of these darn things? Okay, clean that up a bit. Clean this up a bit. Before you came, Jonathan, I was also explaining that the other thing I learned from this abandoned house challenge guy was to do your sketch in watercolor pencil because then it disappears. Now, of course, we do our little tracing thing. And when I did the tracing thing for this photo, it was so light that you couldn't have seen it. And so I said, oh, I'll try his thing of watercolor pencil.
So what is watercolor pencil? It's a type of pencil?
You see how the outline of the porch is in red and,
Yeah.
and the fence is in blue?
Mm-hmm.
That when you do that, then you don't have to worry about your lines showing through.
Oh, I see. So you have to plan which colors in advance?
Yes. Okay, so here's this. And the fact that I have a little bit of green is okay because it's a dirty red. It's not a bright red porch. This is my cleaning up brush. Not really the brush I use. But it seems to be working. Is that time already? Ah,
Got your wine glass?
yeah.
A wine glass.
Nice.
I got my wine glass. I haven't gotten anywhere near close to done. I'm gonna put some blue on my door. That is a green or blue. That's some green. Ah, not dark enough. Ooh, that's dark. Okay, I've got a blue door. And here, I've got a very gray sheet screen in the window. And then I have reflection. I don't know how I'm going to show that. What's the base? It's white. And we have red windowsills. Where's the tiniest brush I have? I don't have my liner. There it is. Okay, it still needs work. But it's coming. Slow but sure. So I've got my wine. Next week,
That'll be good.
yes, next week is the last one of the month, and we will continue with this 3 colors. Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
night. Bye-bye.
I don't know
Enjoy
how to say
the
goodbye. There we go.
That'll work.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye. See you later.